Oh, wow. That's such a layered, layered question, but I will say my first inspiration is my mother. My mother was a model back in the day. She traveled the world for like 10 years in Europe, and she just did things on her own. She never let anybody stand in her way. So my mother really inspires me to go after my dreams wholeheartedly. And then the second person who inspires me is myself in the future, because I'm just living up to my own version of who I am. There's nobody else that I can compare my journey to. And I have to keep that in mind, because it can become really like a toxic cycle to try to become somebody else but yourself. Ooh, the questions for me. Okay, you got my soul thinking. Okay, so that's a layered question. I would say yes and no. I would say yes because there's a space for the conversation, but no because of the way people react. People hate seeing a black woman vulnerable. They hate seeing a black woman confused and not know what she wants out of life. They hate that, but it's such a human part of the journey. It's the point of being alive, is to not know. So I really, for me, because I play Sabrina is extremely vulnerable and she does not know what she wants. There's so many people who get pissed at her. But I'm like, you really acted like you knew what you want every single step of the way. And then I realized how uncomfortable we are with seeing a black woman just exist in the unknown. So it's the vulnerability is the ability to say, I don't know. And I'm okay with that. And that's what vulnerability is, And the fact that we're not granted that in so many different ways when it comes to our aesthetics, our love life, our careers, we can see it even from the hospital beds where black women are dying every day just trying to give birth. We can see that vulnerability is not something that we are quote unquote allowed to have. But as an artist, it's my job to make sure that we understand we're allowed to be in the space of unknown. I've learned so much by being on Sistas. I mean, first of all, I learned I have to trust myself, because we filmed so fast. We filmed 22 episodes in 9 days. Yes, it's unheard of. That's not normal. But you have to learn how to trust yourself and then trust the other people that God put in your universe as well, because I didn't know anybody. I was hired 4 days before the show even started. So I was the last person on the cast to get hired. I didn't get to meet anybody. I didn't get to hang out and form bonds with anybody. It was just, me and my instincts and me knowing that I was prepared for the moment. So really trusting yourself is vastly important, especially in an industry like this where people make you question yourself all the time. They make you question your actions or, your art, essentially. So I'm really grateful for that experience. And then just being around a bunch of melanated excellence just gets me going every single time. I just be ready. How often should a friend give their opinions? I mean, it really depends on the friendship, to be honest. If this is somebody that you told about some extremely intimate things, I think that the level of trust should be there. It depends on how far you've gotten in the friendship. If the person has seen you in some of your darkest hours, I would think that you would take that person's advice as valuable. But after a certain time too, as a friend, you're a guider, you're not a dictator. So you have to try to guide your friends to clarity. And if they're not in the moment to receive that, you also have to accept that as a friend. Oh, my friend opinions are extremely important. I only surround myself with people who are smarter than me, more educated in a different way than I am, more mature than me in a different way than I am, more open-minded in a different way than I am, just different from me. I choose my team very carefully. They're like my advisors, Your friends are your trusted board of advisors if you're trying to get through life. And I very much respect my friends' opinions, like 1,000%. I very much take it into account. I wish people would just mind their damn business, because there's 7 orgasms, okay? 7, count them. And I don't know if you've gotten an orgasm out of every single one, but we are all just exploring life. As long as it's consensual and all the adults, I did say all, the adults know what they're doing, mind your damn business and let people get theirs, okay? we're doing both. We're following our instincts and then getting sidetracked by societal norms. That's really what's happening. And I feel like in intimate relationships, when you don't have other people's ears around or opinions, or there's no likes on the internet and it's just you and the other person, or, you know, several people, however you choose to love in your life, there's no judgment here as long as you're honest. That's my only thing. You know, I just feel like listen, man, life is short, okay? Life is fucking short. We're just trying to make it through this shit. All right, we're trying to get some pleasure here and some fun here. Listen, as long as no one is getting hurt, okay, especially the children, as long as ain't no kids getting hurt and there's no other adults getting hurt in the situation, just do whatever the hell you want and stop worrying about what everybody else got going on. Because that's what's causing a lot of that anxiety and stress, is that we're leaving the things that made us happy. You know what I'm saying? We leave those things behind. We bury them deep down inside and then try to cloak it with an air of responsibility or whatever we think success is. Maybe to you, success is getting dressed up every single day, and lo and behold, now you're a model. You know what I'm saying? That's just what your world is. Maybe your idea of success is helping people see patterns, and now lo and behold, you're a psychologist, right? It's always been inside of you since you were extremely young, and listening to other people actually gets you further away from your instincts, and your instincts are a survival mechanism. So, you know, take people's advice with a grain of salt. Absolutely trust the people you allow into your life because you chose them for a reason, right? But still take it with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, the person that has to live with the decisions you're making is you. Yes, I dated a man just like Calvin, sis. Yes, I surely did. Okay. And what? It was fire too. Listen, okay? At the end of the day, the universe is just here to surprise you and show you what you didn't think was possible. Love is supposed to be unlabeled anyway. Love is supposed to be this open expression in this journey to self-discovery, you know? And I did date a man like Calvin. And I had to ask myself questions, you know, who am I doing this for, myself or society? And that's a real question that we have to come up to ourselves more than not, you know, and you really got to ask yourself, who are you doing this for? Because this person makes me feel good. They make me feel beautiful. They make me feel seen. You know, I'm happy. I'm joyful. I'm not in a toxic situation. And that's another thing. I know a lot of y'all are addicted to toxic situations. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times, the universe is just trying to show you your own limitations and where you can break them. All right, we got to get back out to the photo shoot. Y'all ready? Let's get it. I follow a lot of the young melanated queens on the streets of YouTube who speak about women's issues, and especially melanated women's issues. And I was watching one video, I think it was a black woman, and she was walking down the street and she got harassed by these men and they threw her in a dumpster. And I have to say these things out loud because I need people to answer the question. And the thing is, nobody had an answer. Nobody has an answer to where black women are safe. A lot of people say with God, and okay, great. And you know, I know that's in my heart. But what about my physical safety, my mental safety, my spiritual safety, my emotional safety? You know, there's so many different levels to this. So yeah, it was just a question that I needed to pose. And I use my Twitter as a place where I let my thoughts out. And, you know, questions that might not even have answers, but questions that need to be asked. Absolutely. Much of it is, though, because we buy into these ideas that don't exist. And that only comes with age and experience, when you realize those boundaries and those barriers are merely fruitless expectations from people who don't even know what they want themselves. So it's interesting when you're asking yourself these questions as you're becoming older, because as a child, you feel safe. You know, you're on the playground, you jumping high from off the swing, and you're jumping all over the place and just being a child. But somewhere along the way, someone told you that it was not okay to laugh or be joyful. And so a lot of us have lost that part of who we are. And it takes some time to get back to it sometimes after you lose it. So I just wish Black women would not waste their time trying to convince other people we should be valued. I feel like we can use our energy in a much better way to really pour into ourselves, because all we have is the proof of the life that we live. You know, we could talk a lot, but it's really about the actionable items that come out of our lives, expressions that leaves remnants in people's minds. So I'm just hoping that at this point, even though the conversation is extremely necessary because it's been a quiet conversation, you know, nobody's really talking about women's safety, women's rights. And I talk about this with my friends all the time. I have a lot of male friends, and I have to express to them how dangerous it is just for us to exist, to go out every day. And simple things like that, a lot of men can't even wrap their minds around until they have a sister or a daughter, you know? So it's just a really interesting space to be in, to realize that a lot of it is lies that you buy into. But then also there is a real side to this as well, you know, because people have bought into the lie so much so that now it's become a reality for everybody. Ooh, child, listen, okay? I mean, this is She's Single magazine, so let's talk about it. A lot of times we stop ourselves from being in love. A lot of times we have these weird standards and these preconditions, like I said, that don't even exist. They're made up in our mind that we think that we have to follow. But life hits differently when you just allow your guard to come down. Like we were talking about, where is that safe space for women? It starts one with ourselves, that relationship with ourselves. And then after that, we're able to be loved by the world. Like we are. We're actually a lot more celebrated than we care to admit, you know? A lot of the times we want to think the world is against us, but honey, they looking like us, Botoxing like us, getting the hair like us, tanning. Clearly it's an obsession, honey, okay? So my thing is with this whole love situation, you know, okay, get you a lover who looks good on paper, but get you a lover who hits your heart. Because once your heart is open, baby, can nothing stop you. Trust me right now. Can nothing stop you. You think you want to reach your goals? Fall in love. Watch how fast you're going to reach your goals. Absolutely. My advice to dating yourself first is, you know, you got to take yourself out. Like seriously, go get massages alone, facials alone, go to the bar, get yourself a drink. Stop expecting people to buy you stuff. Okay? Stop expecting people to do things you're not willing to do for yourself. Take yourself on a vacation, you know, get yourself that really lovely coat made that you're willing to do it for somebody else. You're willing to get your boyfriend a $900 coat. Why won't you do it for yourself, right? So you have to start with you first so that the outside energy can meet you and match you where you're at. So you have to develop a standard and a love language for yourself, because then you're just dating a bunch of strangers, expecting them to hit it on the mark when you can't even communicate how you love in the first place. Nobody is a mind reader, and it's okay for us to say that. It's okay for a person not to be a mind reader. They're a soul reader, you know? That's why you're with somebody, because they touch you different, you know, that spirit be hitting. But we still have mouths so we can communicate, so we can tell each other what we need. And until you know what you need, sis, can't nobody help you. So get out there and start dating yourself and watch how the world keeps falling in love with you time and time again. Ooh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would I rate my self-love skills? You know, for my people who need numbers, I'm gonna give myself a good 8. I'm up there, you know what I'm saying? But for people who don't care about that kind of stuff, I'm doing damn good, okay? Because I'm showing up for myself every day. I'm showing up for my dreams. I'm showing up for my aspirations. I'm showing up for the hard times. I'm showing up for the pieces of me that need extra care and extra love and extra healing. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with me. Like there's nothing wrong with you. You have to understand that and realize that and own who you are as an individual. That's the most important part, because when you own who you are, you cannot be stopped. And trust me, the world will bend to your will. I pamper myself all the time. Okay, So I've been dreaming about being a career like this because girl likes to get her hair done, her makeup, her nails. Now I get to do it because it's part of my job. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love self-care. I also went to school for massage therapy a long time ago, so I get massages myself. You know, my man rubs my feet. Get you somebody who rub your feet because we use them all the time, all right? And yeah, I mean, self-care comes from, I do it every single day. Even if I'm listening to a podcast, you know what I'm saying? To get me kind of in the right mood for the day and how I want to attack my goals. So self-care looks like putting your mental health first, putting your spiritual health first, your emotional health first. Those are the really, really important things. And if you can do that, even with meditation for 5 minutes, you don't need to for 45 minutes to get in touch with yourself. You don't. If you just give yourself that extra 5 minutes or give yourself that extra 10 minutes in the shower, or maybe take a bath instead of a shower. You know what I'm saying? Those are little ways to really show you that you care about you. I have so many plans. I'm just so happy to be here. But for all my people who don't know, I'm really into astrology. So, you know, follow your girl. Yes, I can read your chart. It's a thing. It's a thing. So I have something coming for my astrological babies. I have something for that. I'm going to be writing my second book very soon on astrology, which will be on the moon because I'm a Cancer rising. And I am developing my own shows and films. So you guys can definitely be looking out for me doing those kind of things because I want to put people like us in positions of power. And it feels so good to me to be on a set or to be in a space where I see people like us being respected for our skills and our craft. So I'm really excited to do that. And shout out to my boss, Tyler. He's the one that really he makes you dream bigger, man. What can I say? What can I say? He's made thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people's dreams come true. And I want to be a part of that conversation.